Haspels. I'm the Conscious Mystic, and welcome to the weekly forecast for week of June 3rd through to June 9th, 2024. Each week I like to do a reading using my deck, the Mythic Tarot, and bringing through messages using the wisdom of the tarot and guidance from Spirit. I like to also choose an influence card that shows the influence of the week. So each of the cards would be influenced by this influence card, and at the end a soul purpose card to give us the bigger picture of what experience we're gaining from those experiences that we have during the week. So let's begin. This is the influence card. The influence card influences all of the cards that I'm going to choose for each day of the week. I'm going to see what bias is running through this week. Four of Pentacles, there we go. Four of Pentacles represents that part of us that looks outside of ourselves and realizes what it is that we are not doing for ourselves because we see it in other people. It's not always a pleasant feeling. You can see by the look on the person in the back who's holding onto the Pentacles how upset he looks and how upset he feels. The influence is we're looking at our own lives, and we feel bereft that we have actually maybe not achieved what we wanted to achieve, or perhaps that we were feeling that someone else's has skills that are less than ours, and we feel like that we're maybe a bit envious or a bit jealous. Now, I like to use the Four of Pentacles in the reading, and I want to impart this to you, is that the Four of Pentacles can represent envy, but it can also represent aspiration. If you are looking outside of yourself this week, and the weekly cards that come through, the energy of this week, even if you take this, is that everything that happens to you this week is it asking you to use your external world as inspiration rather than self-sabotage. How are you going to use what you are observing and what is being shown to you through your experiences and through the things that happen, synchronicity and so forth? Are you going to use it to inspire yourself or to put yourself down? The choice is yours, because now you know. That one's back in the deck. Monday, June 3rd, let's choose a card. Five of Cups. After that, Four of Pentacles as the influence, the Five of Cups is very much a space, like it can be like a feeling of, the word I'm getting is victim. So even though that's not traditionally what the Five of Cups means, the first word I'm getting is victim. So Monday, this Monday, is going to bring to the surface all the times where we are saying to ourselves, it's not fair. This isn't happening for me. It's not fair. Such and such is this, or this situation is that. So expect to feel all of that angst and where we feel inadequate in ourselves to rise up to the surface. Having a look at this card, you can see that there is loss and grief around it. So by allowing this to rise to the surface, we can understand within ourselves the things that we have or are going to either let go or have lost that contribute to that feeling that we have missed out on something. Allow the Five of Cups to bring the grief up and release it. It is not to wallow. However, there's no judgment here. If you want to wallow, go right ahead. But it won't last for too long. Just be mindful, be kind to yourself, and be mindful that those things that we are grieving for, that we feel sorry about ourselves for, and that we maybe are a bit angry about, will come to the surface. They're going to leave, and it may even represent leaving, or maybe people leaving us, situations leaving us. And if you feel at a loss because certain things are gone, then allow that grieving to happen. It is all part of the process. That one's back in the deck. Tuesday, June the 4th. Let's choose a card. Ace of Wands. Isn't that fabulous? So when we do the work of acknowledging that we have lost, the grieving process, what comes afterwards, and we can be inspired by this, is actual inspiration and motivation. So expect that you have paved the way for inspiration to settle in. You've made room for it. So expect to feel motivated. Let Monday be a self-care day, a rest day, a grieving day. Don't do too much, be good. And you will have made room for Tuesday, motivation, energy, plus you can realize on Tuesday what you can do. So grieving for what has gone on before, what you can't do, what you may have lost, healing that and releasing it, surrendering it to the universe, and now you have space to say, to recognize what you can do, what you do have, how you can utilize that. And that's very encouraging and very inspiring. So expect Tuesday to feel motivated, free, and ready to create. Giddy up. That one's back in the deck. Wednesday, June the 5th. Let's choose a card. Judgment. So what happens when we have done our grieving? What happens when we feel inspired? We look around and we say, what do I need to keep? What do I need to let go? The Judgment card is always for me a decluttering card. You might declutter your mind, your heart, your physical energy, or your physical surroundings. I like to think of the Judgment card as the Marie Kondo of the deck. I've probably said this before, but Judgment allows us to say, is this bringing me joy? Is this what I want to carry forward in my life? And the first two cards that we've had this week allow this to take place. We are able to let things go objectively. We can say, I don't need that. Oh, I'm happy for that to go. So we consciously choose that which no longer serves us in this time. And we do it with ease and joy. So if it's a day, if it's a spring cleanup day or a decluttering day, Wednesday's the best day to do it. If you need a bit of a mental tidy, go ahead and do that. It's the perfect day. The energy is perfect for those activities. That one's back in the deck. Thursday, June the 6th. Let's choose a card. Two of Swords. So in come the people who mean well. They're people that can see you changing, seeing you taking charge of your life and your way forward. They're well-meaning, but they are fear. So if you find that there are external circumstances or sources that are trying to convince you, oh, don't do that, it's too much, you won't succeed, this won't work for you. They do not know you, and you will know them or their words or the situations, circumstances for what it is. Finally, you are standing up and saying, no, actually this is my life and I'm going to do it my way. As you can see, because it's a Swords card, it requires mental capacity so that you can do your own thing and allow your own ideas and way that you want to live to come to the fore. So in order to do that, we must first recognize that which we need to shut out. It does not mean that we move people out of our life. It just means that not everybody knows what's good for us. We know what's good for us. And finally, we can recognize those dissenting voices, the ones that say, that come to us out of fear and try to run our lives or see us doing well, and that makes them feel fearful too. If it comes to a situation, it may be that you've outgrown a situation and it's just coming to terms with that. Anyway, that card is back on the deck. Friday, June the 7th. Let's choose a card. The devil. Oh. Time to play. The devil turns up when we feel that we are not doing the right thing. But our conditioning holds us so much in one place. It rules everything that we do. And when we become aware of our conditioning, which is what the devil represents, a little bit of guilt, a little bit of shame. You know, it does not have to crush us. On this Friday, we get to recognize those conditions or the rules that we set ourselves, or even from the Two of Swords, so the conditioning that came in. Those external forces were the rules that were set in place for us. It doesn't always have to be people. It can be circumstances. It can be generational. Those are the things that were revealed yesterday, and now it's time to pay the piper. This means those rules and those conditions and those beliefs that we lived by, do we need them anymore? How are they crushing us by saying, I'm a bad person if I decide not to do that, if I choose a different path? What happens when we embrace the devil, when we acknowledge that this has been holding us up, that this is what we feel shamed about or guilty about? When we acknowledge that and recognize how it's actually been affecting us, it no longer has a hold. And what the devil does, the devil says, you can now go and play, be free. And you've always been free. The devil just gives us permission to do that. Go play. That one's back in the deck. Saturday, June 8. Let's choose a card. I'm going to give it a bit of a good shuffle. Okay, let's have a look. Page of Pentacles. Look at that beautiful serenity of that card. You know, all the work that we've done personally, externally, in our mind, freeing up our mind, bit of a zhuzhing up there. The Page of Pentacles comes in and says, you now have a beautiful future. What are you going to do with that? How are you going to now establish yourself in this world? It's not about creating anything or you don't have to theorize things or imagine something. They're saying, the Page of Pentacles is saying to you, now in your physical world, how are you going to make a nice stable space for yourself? A nice place where you feel safe? You have now the opportunity, a clean slate, to make that happen. What does that mean for you? You've had a big mental tidy, a big emotional tidy, a big physical decluttering. How are you going to make that work for you now moving forward? You've got a clean slate, a clear field to plant the seeds for the future. What will you do? The world is your oyster. That one's back in the deck. Sunday, June 9. Let's choose a card. Been a great week, interesting week so far. 10 of Pentacles. Nice and comfortable. So, we end the week by realizing how stable we feel. Again, it's Pentacles. It's in our physical world. So we are able to plant and create stability around us, plant the seeds of that stability. The Page of Pentacles paves the way for that to happen. And in that moment, when we arrive on Friday, we realize actually how much we have already achieved. How even with those simple actions and surrendering that we've done, by the end of the week, we realize how much better we feel, how much more stable we feel, and more importantly, how much more we feel in control of our own life, our own decisions, and our own way forward. How lovely to be able to sink into that feeling of comfort, stability, because as this card suggests, not only do we have physical stability, but we have the right people around us as well. And we can feel that love, we can feel that support, and within that love and support gives us the courage and the capacity to do for ourselves. That one's back in the deck. So we're looking at the soul purpose for the week. What is the overarching theme? What is the big picture? What is it our soul is experiencing on a higher level, so that we are able to live our best lives? Let's choose a card. Oh, Queen of Pentacles. Those pentacles have been turning up towards the end of the week. Stability, our life. And normally I like to say, yeah, for the good of ourselves and for the good of everybody else. However, the Queen represents the self. And there's no use doing for everybody or being there for everybody if we're not for ourselves first. And the Queen represents that. The Queen of Pentacles represents how capable we are, how stable we are, and how we can make things work for us in our world when we recognize and let go of those things that have been holding us back, beliefs, situations, people, and understanding those, how they've been impacting us. All of those things come to the surface this week to enable us to recognize and make a decision, make a choice, how we're going to move forward. We don't have to do it all at once. I want to remind you of that. This is just a snippet of the energy. It's going to keep going on and on beyond this week. But the Queen of Pentacles is in charge. And she is there guiding us, saying we are capable, strong, and able to do this. And we must come first, and then everybody else can benefit from that as well. The Queen is kind, nurturing. However, she does not suffer fools either. So as long as you are working with her and not saying poor me or being a victim, you will feel her energy coming in strong. That is not to say that you cannot work through those feelings. Being a victim or a poor me is not a fault or a flaw. It is a state of being. And once you will feel her strongly when you have worked through those feelings. She is still there while you're the victim, but it's difficult to recognize when she is. So be kind to yourself. Tap into the energy and nurturing of the Queen of Pentacles. Just be your own boss. Anyway, that's the soul influence for the week. It's back on the deck. So that's the weekly forecast for week of June the 3rd to June the 9th, 2024. Thank you for joining me. I will see you next week. My name's Vicki Haspels. I'm the Conscious Mystic. Mwah. Bye for now.